There are calls for Scotland to declare itself the world's first rewilding nation. New figures show more than 2% of the country's land is committed to nature recovery. The Scottish Rewilding Alliance says more action is needed to prevent many species and habitats becoming extinct. Kirstin Tait has more.
Over hundreds of years, Scotland's landscape has changed. Conservationists across the country say they want to revert our woodlands, wetlands and grasslands back to how they were before some of our species and nature is lost forever.
Rewilding is where you allow nature to lead in what it wants to do to restore itself. But Scotland is still one of the most nature depleted countries on the planet. In the State of Nature report last year, we were 212 out of 240 countries. So we need to do more, we have to do more, and rewilding can provide that.
2% of the country is now rewilding, but there are plans to ramp that up to 30%, declaring Scotland the world's first rewilding nation.
You need to have a complete ecosystem if nature's going to work properly, and that's what's going to give us, or help to give us, the resilience that we need as we face the changing climate. And every bit of life in a river has got a role to play, starting with the bacteria that help to process chemicals and pollutants in the river, right through to the insects and the fish that feed other animals further up the food chain.
But not everyone is on board. Farmers say they're doing their bit to encourage wildlife, but worry rewilding too much of the countryside could hinder food production.
I think we just have to remind ourselves of what Scotland's all about, and from a landscape, the importance of food production in this country and the need to be producing food and the need to sustain communities. If we start rewilding large parts of the countryside, what does that do for our food production? What does that do for rural communities and jobs as well?
A new charter calls on the Scottish Government to commit to nature restoration across 30% of land and sea. The government say they have put £65 million towards a nature restoration fund. More than 150 projects are ongoing to rewild 16,000 hectares across the country. But conservationists say much more needs to be done to turn Scotland's nature crisis around. Kirstin Tait, STV News.